In this video, we're going to be learning about comments. They're a way to be able to leave notes or ideas to ourselves in our code and not run them as code. So to give a clear example of how this works, let's first say that, we're going through an example where we have a wallet that's equal to $40. And with our wallet, we decided that we were going to go buy some food and maybe it cost $8. So we've covered this earlier, but if we wanted our wallet to lose $8, we could say the wallet is equal to wallet minus 8, or we could do this fancy thing where we say wallet minus equals 8. That's just saying take $8 away. But then let's say, it's payday and all of a sudden our wallet got an extra $40. So we can say plus equals 40. So if we had written this code and, we knew this story about how we had the initial money, then spent it on food, and then got a payday, that's all great. But let's say I wrote this code and then came back later and I'm thinking, wallet's 40 and then it loses 8 and it gains 40. Why? What are the reasons behind this? What we can do is we can add comments to our code to show what it is that we were thinking when we were writing the code. So for example, where I have wallet minus equals 8, after that, if I do the pound sign or the hashtag sign, you can say anything that you want after that and it will not get run as code. So for example, I could say, I bought some food. And you'll notice this doesn't affect the output. We don't get any errors. If I tried to write, for example, I bought food on another line of code and run it, we're going to get a big error because it's saying, what is this, a variable you're trying to reference? Like, what is this? So the comments, anything after the pound sign, that's going to allow us to sort of leave a note to ourselves. Again, I could say here, I got a payday. Woohoo, something like that. And you'll see with these comments, it makes so much more sense. The other cool things we can do with comments is we can say, okay, maybe I'm working on some code where I'm trying to remember how is it that we make, text uppercase. So I have the term Nick here and I'm thinking, is it .up? And I go and I try and run this and it's like, oh, this is not exactly what it was. What you can do is you can add a comment in the front of this to say, I want to eventually get this code to work. I'm just not exactly sure how to do it. So I could comment out this line and maybe add a line above it with a comment that says, I need to figure out how to uppercase this. And so that later you can come back and say, oh, okay, I figured out how to do this. What you do is you actually have to say upper. And so you put in the correct thing and you simply just uncomment your code and you're back to where you were. And so the comment can be used as a nice way to sort of put things away for a second to say, I can't exactly get this to work right now, but I do want to use this later. So an interesting thing is every time I've given you a challenge, you'll notice that I've been doing it with a comment, right? I've had a little pound sign and then I've had my comment down below. So finally, this starts to make sense. And this is sort of a meta challenge here, but I want you to create a comment like the one that we have. Hit pause, do that now. So you could have created anything that you wanted. I'll make one that maybe you're thinking, I know how to do this now, Nick, something like that. But hopefully this was a great light bulb moment to say, oh, we've seen this over and over again, but now I understand. A similar light bulb moment might be, remember how we learned about parameters and functions and how they work? You notice every time we do a print, this is us just calling the print function. And what do we pass in there? We pass in a parameter of what we want printed, like hello here. So this print should make a whole lot more sense. Now, we didn't create the print function. That's all part of Python and its library of code. But whenever we print, we are calling the print function and passing in a parameter. Isn't that cool how you're starting to make these connections?